How we doing, everyone? MJS back again with another video here, and today I'm talking about the business checking account solution that I use for all 5 of my LLCs, and that is Novo. So if you've done any research into Novo, or you've been following my channel specifically, you probably know that I made a full walkthrough video of the platform, application walkthrough, looked over the entire platform back in January of 2021, and since then, in the year plus, the platform has substantially evolved, and I've had a couple conversations with team members there about different features that have come up through that time. I had at least 1 or 2 meetings talking about like product development and stuff like that, just trying to give some feedback as like a user of the platform. So I'm very thankful that I've gotten to kind of see it really, just mature over this time. And I want to talk about it today because I want to talk about those changes, and I want to talk about maybe some more potential feature ideas and what to expect from the company moving forward, because I believe in them. I've had no problems with the platform for this past year and a half. It's been great. So the first thing I like to do in videos like this with a lot of content is kind of show you exactly what I'm going to be going over here. So you can either, pause the screenshot, take a look at it, or in the video timeline, there will be timestamps as well if you want to skip around. But this is basically the agenda here. So if we start at the top, we talked a little bit about the quick recap. What is Novo? Quick point that I want to make is that Novo is not technically a bank. It's a fintech platform backed by a partner bank, and its partner bank is Middlesex Federal Savings. All that means is that you get the best of both worlds. You get the FDIC insurance from Middlesex, and you also get the amazing tech that Novo has built to interface with all that, and just all the cool things that we're going to talk about here. So like I said, I made that video back in January of 2021. It is now April 2022. A lot has changed. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to compare and contrast. So if you haven't seen that video, maybe go check it out if you want to see where the platform was then. I am not going to cover everything specifically in detail because some things haven't changed. I'm going to focus on the changes. So let's start right here on the dashboard, and we're going to talk about the updated UI. There's a new logo. So up here in the corner, Novo changed their logo. It's kind of cleaner, nicer. The UI and everything like that. There's also a new URL. It's novo.co now. It was different before. And I think the biggest thing on the dashboard here is that you can now change your dashboard around. So if you scroll to the bottom, you could do this on mobile at the time, but now you can do stuff like this where you can just like hide items, you can move things around. It's kind of cool because if you don't need all this stuff, like if you don't want to deal with like invoices, you can just get rid of it and then it's not on there anymore. So that is actually a feature that I talked about in the first video, and I'm happy that they implemented it because it's a small feature, but it's really cool. As for the rest of the dashboard, some things have changed, but like I said, we're not going to go over each one of them there because we'll talk about them on the new layout here on the side as far as like all the navigation goes. So we're on dashboard. Not too much happened in activity that I could really tell, but then in make a payment, things have definitely changed a little bit here. So if you want to make a payment within the US, and I want to talk about this for a second because I've used this service to make a payment in the US. You could do it a couple different ways. You could do it either directly via, like if you click, for instance, add a pay, you can do a bank transfer or a paper check. I have used the paper check twice now, and it's worked brilliantly both times. You just put in all the information, and then Novo mails out a check on your behalf to that, the vendor in this case or whatever. I was paying like accounting fees, right? So I put my accountant's information in there, and then they got the check. I believe it was about a week later. It may vary depending on how, far away the place is and everything like that. But rest assured, it got there, it was fine, and they're happy with that. So if you're dealing with a vendor that doesn't, have like a bank transfer or any way to pay them digitally like that, that's an option. But if you do have the account number and the routing number, you could also do it electronically right through here and make that payment. So that is very nice. If you want to make an international payment, this has changed as well. You used to be able to only do this via the mobile app, but now they have like a Wise integration, and it's also like just powered right through the website as well. So you don't have to do it on mobile because I'm rarely on mobile, truthfully. So I'm happy that they implemented this on the desktop, but you can just send, whatever it is, it calculates the fees and everything like that. And it gives you kind of an estimate of, the timeline and everything. Let's see if we can just do something in here like this. That's pretty cool. So $1,000, if you wanted to send $1,000, there's an $8.93 fee, and then guaranteed exchange rate. And this is like USD to euro. And then it says payee receives this. So you'd have to do kind of, I guess, the math on your end to see, make like if they wanted like 1,000 euros, I guess you'd have to do it a little differently there. Tells you when it should arrive. That's cool. As far as country here, we got euro, rupee, British pound, like a lot of them. Okay, so that's, yeah, I mean, it's powered through Wise, so that makes sense. Nice. But that's really cool. You can do that through there now. So if we go back to the navigation, not too much changed in the Fund Novo section. You can just, continue to fund your accounts as usual. In the account info, some things absolutely did change. So the first thing that is very interesting, if you have a use for it, is in the Users tab. So now you can add new users. You weren't able to do this before. So instead of just being your main login, you could have like a new person. So name, email, relation to the business. You can give them like how they are in the business or whatever. And then you can also give them like a role. Now, the one thing I would like to see here is more roles, obviously. And I'm sure that's on the timeline. But like, I think the way that this is let's say that you had, maybe an accountant and then you clicked owner. I'm assuming this owner role, because that's what my role is, they have full permissions. So at some point, I'm sure they're going to have, divvied up permissions where maybe they can only do invoicing, or maybe they can only handle, look at certain things rather than like have full account access to do everything. But that's nice that you can at least add somebody else. So if you had a partner, maybe another co-founder, you could let them in here and you could, you can share the responsibilities like that. If we go back to the account info page and we scroll to the bottom, we can see all these different transfer limits that weren't here before. So it's a bunch of different cards and it shows you like exactly what your current transfer limits are. So for instance, like bank transfer, $5,000 per transfer, $5,000 per day, $50,000 per month. And I really like that it gives you the ability to request a limit change right here on each one of these independently. So let's say you wanted to request a limit change for bank transfer. You click on that and then the sidebar pops out and you can, say which one you want to increase, would you like to make the new limit, brief description of why you want the change, if you want it temporary or permanent, and then just add some supporting documentation. I mean, that's really nice. I've seen like limit and credit changes before, like on credit cards, but the fact that you can do all that straight from there and, I don't know, I think that's a really cool feature that they've implemented. All right, so if we talk about debit cards here, next one down, couple things. So physical card has pretty much not changed. That is just basically the same thing. I mean, you get your card, and I think that actually the design has changed now, because I had the old logo on my card. But other than that, that's pretty much the same. And then if you go over to virtual card, though, this is cool, and this is a new feature. So you've probably heard of virtual cards before, and it's a really cool concept because I actually had this happen to me. I have to tell a quick anecdote here. On one of the businesses, I had my card like subject to fraud in a sense, right? So I look at it one day and it says like an $83 charge at a Walmart, and I guess it's like the headquarters, like the Arkansas Walmart. I don't know, but that's the information that it gave. So it's a great story from Novo because like that happened, but I was able to get the money back right away. Like I filed a little dispute, and then they knew that was a thing that happened in that case. And it was no problem. I got the money back. That's not the point. But the point is that if I was using the virtual card thing, which I wasn't at the time, then I wouldn't have had to necessarily go through the whole process of getting a new card. So that happened. I got the money back and I got a new card with new numbers, and I updated in a couple places. So rather than me explain it, why don't we just show you here? So I click create virtual card, and now it has like a little virtual card. Those are different numbers than my physical card. And then you can freeze it. You can show the card details. You can add the card to Apple or Google Pay. And you can also add funds via like Venmo or PayPal. So this is really cool. And I actually have this on one of my different accounts, and it works great most of the time. There's only one issue right now, which I actually brought up to the team, and they know about it, and they're gonna fix it. But in full transparency, I used the virtual card in two places. I used it on QuickBooks. So just like as one of the vendors, just put it in there for the payment method. That worked fine. I used it on Google for Google Workspace, and there's an error right now that says it's really on Google's side of things, and it says they don't allow prepaid cards. I think that's just a weird thing with the way of the implementation of these virtual cards, but I know they're working on that and there's going to be some sort of solution at some point. But I would venture to say most places are not going to have that issue. And I don't know how this works specifically. I should get more information. They might have some too in their knowledge base because Novo's knowledge base is very, very deep. But this part here where it says add instant funds to your Novo card, I want to say that maybe there is a way that you could do that and then potentially work around it. I don't know for a fact. I haven't tried that. But the point is that there's different ways to kind of utilize this. Like you could use it just as a debit card like this, but you could also have this functionality as well, which is very cool. And then it gives you all the transactions specifically for the virtual card right here. The only other thing that I could say here is I guess, maybe a further iteration of this would be cool if you could have multiple virtual cards. So if you had maybe 5 different vendors, you could have one for each one. I don't know how difficult that is to implement or if it's even possible, but that would be maybe just another step forward, but that's pretty cool. Very happy that there are virtual cards now because like I said, it's definitely going to help because again, that use case, let's say you put this virtual card in on like a QuickBooks like I have, and then something happens or, those numbers get stolen somehow or there's a breach or something. It could be anywhere, not QuickBooks is just an example. You wouldn't have to go through the whole hassle of getting a new card. You could just, kind of get a new virtual card thing, which I'm sure is way easier. All right, so nothing really new in the statements tab there. Let's go down to reserves. Definitely some big improvements here. So reserves are, if you remember Aslo, which I referenced in the last video, RIP Aslo, it was kind of like just you can set money aside. So they called it envelopes back then, but it's just like you have your balance and you move money into, maybe like a taxes reserve or profit or owner compensation, whatever, just savings. So you can kind of just categorize your money a little bit better. So this is how you create a reserve. Very straightforward. You can do that. It'll set it up. I want to show the new things that they are working on or look like coming down the pipeline here. So that was just one simple reserve. If we click on this learn more button, there's reserve plans that are coming. So the standard thing that everybody gets for free is you can customize and rename the reserves. You have up to 5 reserves just with a free account, and then you can do automated reserve deposits. Now, this is really cool. You can't do that with the standard one, but you can do that with this new plan that is Reserves Plus, which is $5 a month, and you can join the waitlist for. So the customize, you can still do that. Reserve limit now is unlimited, and then you have automate reserve deposits, so set up rules that divvy up money in your income into your reserves. That would be very interesting. Let's say that you got, for every $100 or something, I'm not sure what the rules are, but if something like this was possible, which it seems like it is, let's say for every $100 you have, that as a small business, you're probably gonna have to pay $30 in taxes or something outrageous, right? So you just said you had a reserve called taxes, and for every, so much or whatever, every a percentage is probably more the way it would go. Take out so much percent and put it in that reserve. That could be huge for people that want to do that a little more automated and not have to really worry about taxes. What's this one? Allocate reserve spending. So assign expenses to the reserves of your choice. So that's kind of cool. And then make payments out of your reserves so you can move funds between reserves. So just more ways to manipulate the reserves, and really the automation is awesome. So if you're interested in that, if you could benefit from that for $5 a month, that might be a really cool thing to look into once you get your Novo account. All right, so if we take a look at invoices, huge updates here. It's just totally overhauled. So this is the first page that you get. So it's kind of just a landing page, and then you have create invoice and settings. I'm actually going to click on settings first because I want to show you all these different things. So business information, invoice customization, manage customers, manage payments. Let's go right down the line here. So business information. Right here, you can change the business information, and this will be what's, by default, kind of used on your invoice when you create one. So it has different fields. You can update it. You can save it. Cool. Next thing is invoice customization. This wasn't even a thought, I don't think at the time. So you can do all sorts of different stuff. You can upload your logo and have it on the physical invoice here. You can change the header color, which is very neat. You can actually change it to any color. That's awesome. It's very nice, a nice touch that they added there. So you can change it to anything like that. It gives you a preview of the whole thing, what it's going to look like, with all the different items, and then the bank accepted methods and all that sort of stuff. So it's super cool. Way more evolved than it was when I made the last video. If we go back and we click on settings, we can see manage customers. So this is where you would have customers, and you could pull from that data. If you had like reoccurring people that you were using invoices for, and you were invoicing, you could do that. And that's like your little database there. And then the last setting that we have is manage payments. So you can accept payments in a few different ways. You can have it directly ACH'd into your like check deposits and ACH'd into your account, or you can do Stripe, or you can do Square. So it's cool that they give you those options, because depending on kind of how you want to do that, the flexibility is very nice. So if we go back and we press create an invoice, let's see what the process is like. So you can give it an invoice number, you can fill out the customer details, or you can like add a new customer. You can do the billable items, so each one that you would have in that list, each service or whatever that you've rendered. You can have a note in there. You can do payment terms, so like due on receipt, due on specific date, like all sorts of stuff. You can have it send you a copy. You can add other recipients. This is actually really interesting, because I currently use QuickBooks for like bookkeeping and for the invoicing process that I have to do on occasion. And this is very similar. Like, this is just about the same thing. If you're looking for a solution, this is a free business checking account, and it can do all this stuff. So, I mean, this is hard to pass up, in my opinion, especially if like you're into like the online banking scene. I don't know. Like I said, I've had no problems with this whatsoever. So this has been very nice to continue to see it evolve. And then if we scroll down, we can talk about the accepted payment methods again. So you can just select them. So either like straight via ACH, or debit and credit card, or by check. You can mail it like direct. And then you can save the payment options if you wish there too. So the invoicing is super, super clean, intuitive, and honestly very powerful, very competitive to, even like bigger and like more mature brands like QuickBooks. So if we talk about referrals here, the next tab on the left, once you have a Novo account, which hopefully you get it via the link in the description and help support the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. You can refer other people, right? So if you come into this page here, you have refer a business and you both get $40. So this is one section of referral. There's also like an affiliate section, but this is for like if you just have a business to refer like another, like a friend or something like that, then you can send them a referral and they'll get a link, or you can, share the link code and all that sort of stuff. And then when they sign up and they, do all the things that they need to do to get the account, then you both get $40. So nice little thing. Cool that Novo has that option just for pretty much everybody, and it's super simple, because a lot of times affiliate stuff, like I said, affiliate's separate, but this nice little referral program is just kind of baked in, and you don't really have to do too much work to get that to make a couple bucks for you and your friend there. So that's awesome. I'm happy that they built that out even more than it was previously. So the last tab on the left here is apps, and this is maybe like the biggest change, I want to say, because it was not nearly this built out when we started and when I made that video last time. So you have this whole marketplace now. You have Discover at the top, you have My Apps. These are the ones that you're currently using, so obviously like the Novo features and then Novo integrations. And I want you to pay attention to some of this, because I was actually slightly involved in some of the feedback here. I don't want to take any credit at all, really, but some of the feedback though that I gave, I think has kind of made its way into here. So you have like everything differently categorized, so like collections and stuff like that, and you have these little subheadings. So like Stripe is like a Novo integration, Square, Novo integration, PayPal is an external app, as we saw before in the other one, like invoicing is like a Novo feature. So you got to understand, like, this is like, if you are wondering what Novo can do or has like the ability to do, this is the page that you want to look at, because it has everything that it connects with, everything that's like a feature of it, and every way that it can kind of, just each one of these different things, right? So how you can get paid, how you can make payments, how you can help with accounting, invoicing, budgeting, all that sort of stuff. So I mean, like, another thing too is I don't think this was maybe it wasn't originally, or maybe it was like in the process, like Mint, for instance. So I use Mint, and I don't think initially when I got the Novo account, it could integrate directly with Mint and, pull the data in and over there. So, you could track with like budgeting and stuff like that on like a personal level. So it could do that now. There's different payroll, different things, ADP, paychecks, right? Productivity. You can do Slack integrations, Zapier integrations, Google Ads, like all sorts of different stuff. And some of this too is baked into the perks section, which is, I think it was an earlier iteration, and then it's kind of also evolved into this page more so as well. So just like cool little, like, I think a good example might be like booking.com, for instance. So Novo users get 6% cash back on booking.com trips when you book with the following link and pay with your Novo debit card. I mean, like, who else has something like that, right? It's like almost something like this is almost like the perks that you get with a credit card, right? Like cash back in a way. So the point is, you'd have to explore this a lot. Some things are definitely going to be for some people. Some things are going to be for other people, right? Maybe you don't use QuickBooks. Maybe you use Stripe. Maybe you use Square, whatever. But the point is that pretty much whatever you kind of want to do here, you're going to be able to integrate it to some degree. And Novo is going to have you covered as far as like making your whole business financial system kind of like sync up, and even more so than just financial stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of things in here. So all that being said, we pretty much covered all of the big new features, which is a ton. I want to throw in here just a couple more feature ideas that maybe you guys have as well. If you're already a Novo user and you're watching this, then maybe you've experienced some of this. If you're new, here's some things that I've just thought of. And I think I brought some of these up, but if you're watching, maybe here's some more things for you. So company name in the header, and this isn't really going to matter to too many people, but I have 5 accounts. So it's like, this is what I see every time. Like I see Novo and I see my name. I don't see like the company specifically. So it'd be kind of cool to have that somewhere, either replace the name or whatever. So company name in the header, I think, would be one that everybody would benefit from. Instant transfers. I remember Aslo had that, and I don't know if other platforms do, but something like where instead of funding your account with ACH, you can just like use a debit card to fund it. That might be in the pipeline. I'm not sure. But that would be kind of cool at some point to do that. We'll talk about a little bit towards the end here as well about like Novo's kind of like, their overall goal as well. So it kind of aligns with that. So I have a feeling that maybe that's some point in the future. Along with the company header issue that I mentioned, it would be really nice to have a simple way to switch between accounts. Again, probably a minority in this case as far as that being a slight bottleneck, but it'd be cool if I could click up here at the top and say like switch to AM and the PM, or switch to Fuel by Progress or whatever, similar to how Instagram does. Obviously Instagram and Novo are different types of products, but you get the idea there. That would be cool if that was achievable. And then the other thing, which I'm pretty sure is also down kind of in the pipeline to some degree, is just more notifications. So right now I can get notified, and I have them turned on, I think specifically for that card that was frauded or whatever for just a weird reason or whatever. But I think I have notifications turned on for when there are transactions. It would be really cool to see a low balance notification. So if your balance goes below like a certain thing that you could define, that'd be great. And then just other sorts of notifications that you could customize at your leisure. But other than those couple things, I mean, Novo is an incredible platform that I've enjoyed using and being a customer of. As far as what to expect from Novo moving forward, from everything that I've seen and kind of the conversations I've had, just in general, I think that the things that they hold near and dear, at least right now, one of the main goals is cash flow optimization. So we talked about it a lot. Things like instant transfers, maybe one day in the future. I have no idea about that. But like just things like trying to like, their goal is for us as customers of theirs and business owners to have access to our money as quickly as possible, right? Because we get paid from clients, whether that's invoicing directly from their platform, obviously, as you can see with the options for payment, or direct ACH transfer or whatever it is. Even if it's from a different like vendor and the money's being deposited into the account, they want to speed that up as much as possible. I know that they've already started making Stripe, like trying to speed up all different things with that, and just everything. So I know that's one of their main goals, cash flow optimization, just getting money into the accounts quicker. And I would say the other big thing that I've noticed just from, again, the conversations and from visually seeing it on the platform is creating and enhancing the tools that they already have and also their partnerships with the people and the vendors that they use to make those services possible. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about trying Novo, there's a link in the description as well as on screen here. It's markjosephszymanski.com/Novo. That'll take you right to the homepage. You can sign up, get started, and everything like that. That is an affiliate link. If you use it, I'll be very grateful for you supporting this channel. No obligation to do so, though. Don't feel obligated. But also, if you watch this video or you've done other research on Novo and you're looking at other platforms and you're trying to compare, I can give you my best, advice and anything like that. If you throw a comment or a question down in the comment section, I'll do my best to help you out because I've been through this. Like I said, I've been through Aslo. I've looked at some other platforms and just honestly, Novo has not done me wrong. So there's no reason to give it any bad words about it. So, but again, guys, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you like the content, I'm going to keep putting more content out like this, personal life stuff, educational stuff. I just like to share the things that I have going on. I'd like to learn, try, and share. So if you appreciate that content, if you like it, give the video a like, subscribe if you want to, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.